Well, everybody, here's part 4 of my Lewiston media collection for 2025 edition. So, anyways, no time to waste. Let's get on with the video. As always, starting with the clamshells, 2 cup boxes, and the rest are slip covers. So, anyways, let's begin now. Got this tape at a thrift store in Pullman, Washington, back in June of 2021. And I used to have the 1997 Masterpiece Collection VHS and the 1986 VHS of this movie, but got rid of them and replaced this tape back in 2021. August 6, 2003. Got this tape from the Salvation Army thrift store back in September of 20 or October of 2021. I think I got this tape back in October of 2021. May 31st, 2000. Got this tape from the St. Vincent de Paul thrift store in Clarkston back in October of 2020. November 16th, 2001. So this is a reprint. And I will rewatch this movie soon after I get a VCR player. Guts tape from the Youth Ranch back in August of 2021. June 21st, 2002. And I used to have another copy back in December of 2015. But I don't think it's not recycled at all. But my copy does, so yep. Got this tape back in December of 2024, which is last year, and needs a rewatch soon. And I was I will get another copy of the sequel soon. So, yep. February 12th, 1995. So printed 2 days before Valentine's Day that year. I think I got this tape from the Salvation Army thrift store back in, I think, December of 2022. June 4th, 2000. classic 1938 movie right here that I watched a couple times. And I got this tape from the St. Vincent de Paul thrift store back in June of 2018. Oh, it came with the Warner Brothers 75 years promo booklet, but I'm not going to show it because of time. July 25th, 1997. Found this tape at a St. Vincent de Paul thrift store in Clarkston back in November 2017. March 6, 1998. So probably my birthday that year. And 4 years before I was born. And here are the rest of the clamshells and 2 cut boxes that I'm about to show right now. And this is the tape that I got from the Salvation Army thrift store back in October of 2022. May 13th, 1998. And the 19th week of 1998. I think I had this demo tape, or known as this screener tape, for a long time, which I had for almost 8 years. And of course, I got this tape from the, I think, St. Vincent de Paul thrift store back in November 2017. It's in Clarkston. July 21st, 2003. And this copy doesn't have any previews at the beginning or the Rubber Dubbers promo at the end, because this copy is a screener tape of this tape right here. And in case you didn't notice, Diego had this tape. And Diego, if you're watching this, this is for you. I know you have the 2003 screener VHS of this tape. And now, here's the last clamshell for this video. Or, here's the last clamshell for this part. And I think I got this tape from the Youth Ranch back in February of 2018. Shortly after the thrift store opened back in August of 2017. July 25th, 1999. That's it for the clamshells, and now the rest are cut boxes. So here we go. I found this tape at a St. Vincent de Paul thrift store in Lewiston back in November of 2019. July 21st, 1999, or no, July 27th, 1999. My mistake there. The print of this tape is actually July 27th, 1999. And finally, here's the last tape for his, here's the last cut box for his video. And I found this tape last year while my dad and I clean out at the storage unit. July 16th, 2002, and printed the 28th week of 2002. That's it for the clamshells and the 2 cut boxes. And now, here the rest are the slip covers. So, anyways, here we go. Found this tape at a St. Vincent de Paul thrift store in Lewiston back in 2019. September 28th, 1995. And this is the copy with the preview for The Thief and the Cobbler, or originally Arabian Nights, because this copy is version 3. And yes, this copy has a preview for the Johnny Carson collection promo at beginning as well, because this copy right here is version 3 of the 1995 VHS. So anyways, let's continue on. And yes, I finally found this tape at a St. Vincent de Paul thrift store in Clarkston back in November of 2017. And this tape was originally purchased from Kmart back in 2003, when we used to have Kmart, but now it's Walmart. October 13th, 2003. And I do have the Santa Claus tree on DVD, which I'm about to show my DVDs later, after the tapes. The front is kind of ripped there, but hopefully the rest of the tape still plays fine. And I got this tape from the St. Vincent de Paul thrift store back in June of 2020. It's in the Lewiston area, by the way. July 5th, 1998, so printed the day after Independence Day that year, or known as 4th of July of that year. Got this tape at the OUI thrift store back in November of 2019. And definitely a classic right here, especially the ice cream part. That part's funny. So anyways, the print date is March 6, 1997. So per my birthday that year, and 5 years before I was born. And the 10th week of 1997. This movie right here needed a rewatch after I get another VCR player. Now, of course, I will get another VCR player as soon as possible. The print date is July 7th, 1993. And of course, I found this tape at a storage unit while my dad and I clean up last year. And I found this tape at a OUI thrift store back in December of 2018. I think July. February 24th and March 2nd, 2004. So this is a reprint. I found this tape at a St. Vincent de Paul thrift store in Clarkston back in January of 2020. And indeed a classic from 1999, starring Tom Hanks. October 16th, 2000. And the right window is has a crack on the window. But at least the rest of the tape still plays fine. And part 2 printed August 29th and September 29th. My mistake. And October 16th, 2000. I think I found this tape at an OUI thrift store back in, I think, April of 2018. This is my first time going there. January 2nd, 1994. So printed the day after New Year's Day of that year. I think I found this tape at the St. Vincent Paul thrift store back in December of 2018. I think I got this tape back in 2020, in which I graduated that year. Top's kind of faded, but that's alright. The rest of the tape still plays fine. Two print dates, October 4th and October 13th, 2000. Found this tape last year while my dad and I clean up at the storage unit, which is in Clarkston. August 16th, 1999. Once again, I found this tape while I graduate this year. And I think the print date is... here it is. The print date is April 18th, 2001. 2001. In this movie, Where the Heart Is, I'm not confused with the 1990 version by Touchstone. This is the 2000 version, starring Natalie Portman and Ashley Judd. I think I found this tape back in 2018, which I found it at the St. Vincent Paul thrift store in Lewiston, which is my hometown. September 17th, 1998. And the 38th week of 1998. I think I found this tape back in December of 2018. January 4th, 1997. So this is a reprint. But this tape does have the 1986 G Shield War Home Video logo at the beginning of the tape. And this copy doesn't have any previews at the beginning as well. And of course, I found this tape at a OUI thrift store back in April of 2018. And this is my first time going there. November 26, 1992. And the 40th week of 1992. Found this tape at a St. Vincent de Paul thrift store back in December of 2018. July 18th, 2000. And now here are the rest of the slipcovers I'm about to show right away. Guts tape brand new back in June of 2018. June 29th, 2000. So this is a reprint. And the 26th week of 2000. I think I found this tape at a St. Vincent de Paul thrift store back in 2021, I think. January 21st, 1992, and January 29th, 1992. And this can be the last RCA Columbia Pictures home videotapes before Columbia TriStar Home Video logo was showing. And the week and year code's I think print the 5th week of 1992. Guts tape back in December 2022, in which I got tape at the St. Vincent de Paul thrift store in Lewiston. September 27th, 1996, and July 9th, 1999. And printed the 39th week of 1996 and the 27th week of 1999. I think I got tape at the youth ranch probably last year. Or back in 2023. The print date is June 21st, 1991. got this tape back in December of 2024, which is last year. I think I got it last year. August 5th, 1997, and the 31st week of 1997. I think I found this tape at the St. Vincent Paul thrift store while my other copy broke. I was gonna find it in Boise, but it broke back in 2023 while I visited there. But now I finally have it. August 5th, 1999. And of course, I found this tape at a St. Vincent de Paul thrift store, or OUI thrift store. I meant, which I had it since 2018. April 2nd, 1999. Two more tapes for this video and then we're finished. Touchstone movie, and it's co-made by Paramount. I think I found this tape at a St. Vincent de Paul thrift store back in 2018. June 9th, 1999. And finally, here is the last one for this video. And I found this tape at a storage unit last year. And this is recycled. September 6, 1994 and December 15th, 1997. And printed the 36th week of 1994 and the 51st week of 1997. Well, everybody, there you have it for part 4 of my Lewiston Media Collection 2025 edition. Stay tuned for part 5 coming up soon. So, anyways, Superman Me 2002, see y'all later, and have a fun rest of your Friday to you all. So, yep.